With BLUELOCK having such a diverse cast of characters, any one of the players can be regarded as your favorite. Maybe you like the type who manipulates the field with their eyes and brain, making Isagi your favorite. Or maybe you like these super talented and god tier strikers who score incredible goals, to which someone like Kaiser or Rin may be your favorite. But one of the more flashy characters who is regarded as a beloved favorite in the series is none other than the Pink Devil of BLUELOCK, Shidou Ryusei. Now, just because someone is your favorite character doesn't necessarily make them a good character. I mean, just look at that one Imamura fan over there. Fucking loser. But the bottom line is just because you like a certain character doesn't necessarily mean that that character is a top tier within the current story. And with the NEL's conclusion and Shidou sneaking his way into the top 3, there have been many debates on whether or not Shidou actually deserves this spot. So for today's video, I know it's a little bit of a surprise, but I'm here to actually defend Shidou and explain why he does deserve to be in the top 3 for NEL values. I know, crazy right? Me, a Shidou defender. But I thought, hey, let me change it up for today, and then going into tomorrow, I'll just hate him double as much. Now, before I get into the video, I want to leave a spoiler warning for the latest chapters of the BLUELOCK manga, and if you aren't caught up to at least chapter 302 of the manga, I would suggest you click off this video now if you wish to not be spoiled. I also have a Discord server called the Neo Egoist Geeks, which you should totally join. The link to that is down below. Now, before we can determine anything, we should first establish context, so let's start with Barou Shoei. Going into the game against Bayou München in the 3rd round of the NEL, Barou was valued at 100 million yen as the lone goal scorer for Italy's Ubers. Paired with the new Generation 11 in Don Lorenzo, he was able to score a hat-trick against Barca, which led to his value of 100 million yen. Going into the game against Bayou München, Barou continued to obey Snuffy's orders, which despite several interceptions from Isagi, led to a goal with the stealth kill shot. However, after too many failed attempts, Barou rebelled against Snuffy's designs and went rogue, taking over Ubers and dragging them into his future. This eventually led to Barou scoring a second goal with the gamble double nutmeg shot, putting his entire career on the line for the sake of his ego. While this did manage to bring Ubers back to a stalemate against Bayou München, thanks to Hiyori's substitution, Isagi was able to score the game ender, sending Bayou München home with the victory. Now, despite Barou's 2 goals and the direction of the team after Snuffy's substitution, Barou only earned a 30 million yen increase, while players like Isagi, for instance, increased by 100 million. Going into the game against Manchester City, we don't see a lot, as our info begins with Ubers up 2 goals and Manchester up 1. We don't see much of Barou's performances, but we do see him receive the ball after a failed shot from Nagi, and he begins to dribble through Manchan's defense, eventually leading to a shot which gets blocked by my GOAT, Chigiri Hyoma. But the loose ball falls towards Sendo, leading to an Uber's victory and an unintentional assist from Barou. Now, despite this surprise assist and likely 2 other goals being scored, Barou only increased again by 20 million, placing him at a bid of 150 million for his final NEL value. I do also think that it should be considered that Barou played in 1 less game than Shidou did, as Barou did not earn a value from the match against PXG, implying that Barou was not on the pitch during that time. But now it's about time we talk about Shidou in the context for his value. Shidou received a 100 million yen value after his performance in the Barca game, scoring 2 goals with assists from Charles, one being a reverse rotating direct shot and the other being a dragon header, which was scored with numerous people holding Shidou back. These 2 goals shot his value up from 25 million to 100 million. Now, going into the game against Bayou München, this is where Shidou's performances begin to become somewhat stale. Shidou was able to score a goal in the first few minutes against Bayou München with a chemical reaction with Charles, leading to them drawing first blood. But aside from that, he really didn't do a lot of importance. This was done due to Kunigami's change of positioning, acting as a defensive midfielder, locking down Shidou as a restrictive man marker for around 20 chapters straight. Despite being pried off of Kunigami in chapter 274, Shidou proceeded to do nothing that contributed to Rin scoring his goal, only existing as another player on the pitch. I remember when chapter 274 dropped and everyone was freaking out because Shidou had finally broken free from Kunigami, but then proceeded to do nothing since we were still in the Rin glazing part of that game. But even after being free, he contributed very little to the rest of the game. Shidou only began to have an impact on the game after forming his alliance with Rin, feeding Rin passes like the good little submissive boy that he is, which wasn't able to lead to any kind of success because, like Isagi says,
"Keep playing crazy soccer, you damn geniuses. You'll never outsmart us."
But the only other thing that Shidou did was block the final pass to Kaiser in chapter 292, giving PXG the potential to counterattack, which failed because Kunigami is the GOAT. But now that you've heard the context for each player receiving their bids, how can I logically justify Shidou's increase, leading to a higher value than Barou? Before I explain, I do want to remind you guys that if you are enjoying this video so far, leave me a like and subscribe down below to see more awesome Blue Lock content just like this. It costs you absolutely nothing and it helps me out immensely. And if you want to help even more, if you were to become a member of the channel, you would earn some awesome benefits like personal video requests and shoutouts and videos, but you would also get your name mentioned in the Blue Lock New World movie as a contributor to the project, and this also applies to leaving super chats. So like, subscribe, and become a member to show your support for me and my content. Now the main reason I believe that Shidou deserves a higher value than Barou relates to two core points. Point number one being how the NEL values work. When we look at the NEL ranking, a lot of people want to say that the NEL ranking itself is a judgment of skill, and that's not really the case. The new Egoist League is an auction where the club owners from around the world submit their bids for the players to represent their clubs. Meaning they aren't ranking your skill, they are simply valuing you at your performances and what they believe you to be worth. This is implied in chapter 204 between the discussion of Isagi and Noah. Noah states in relation to Ryo's bid value, he controlled the midfield while creating a lot of chances. Some club teams value that style of play. So the NEL ranking isn't skill based, it simply gives you a bid value based on what the club owners believe you to be worth. And because these are actual values, the club owners give you a bid value that they believe they could definitely make back from your performances at that club. With Shidou being an incredibly flashy striker, scoring goals that most people can never do, seen with the Dragon Drive, Big Bang Drive, and the Dragon Header, Shidou shows that he can actively rile up a crowd and get people engaged with seeing him play. So of course the club is going to value him highly since he would be able to bring in a lot of money for them in return. And this fact also relates to who the clubs are based off of in the real world. Ubers is based off Juventus and PXG is based off of PSG. And when you compare their IRL counterparts, PSG is one of the richest clubs in the world, specifically known for giving salaries and offers that are typically higher than the standard market value for a player. So if you translate that to the NEL, Shidou getting a higher value than Barou makes sense because PXG has so much more money to spend. Because of this, Shidou may not be better than Barou, but he is valued higher by PXG than Barou is at Ubers. And I think that's a pretty understandable claim. And the second point is Shidou's importance to the club. Now I pretty much already mentioned this, that Shidou is very important to the club, but why exactly is that? Well, let's address PXG's purpose for coming to the NEL in the first place. In chapter 246, we cut to the PXG team in a locker room after their match against Barca, where Loki is giving the team their homework for improvement. During this conversation, Loki mentions how the intention behind entering the NEL was to awaken Charles and his latent ability as a passer, to give Loki the conditions to surpass Noah as the best striker in the world. And since Loki is likely the star player at PXG, any players who help meet the conditions that he's looking for are going to be highly valued by the club, since the club in return would make a ton of money from Loki if he managed to surpass Noah. Because of this, PXG is willing to put down a little bit of extra money to ensure that a striker who has the ability to awaken Charles comes to play for them at PXG. You can consider it like an investment of sorts. And in chapter 252 and 253, we saw this firsthand, as Shidou's Dragon Header was the first spark for Charles' awakening, leading to a goal being scored against Bayern München instantly. Keep in mind, by the way, that Bayern München was an undefeated team going into this, so any performance against either team, be it PSG or Bayern München, is going to be favored very highly. And since they managed to score in less than 10 minutes and he was able to bring out the best in Charles, Shidou managed to show how good he is when he is paired with Charles. Now I know the obvious counter to that. Well, what about Rein? I mean, he was the one to fully awaken Charles. And yes, while that is true, Rein has other issues to deal with. First off, Real, the greatest club in the world, is currently bidding in for Rein Itoshi. While PXG may have a lot more money than most clubs just going off of speculation, it's unlikely that it has the same financial leeway that the strongest club in the world has. So it's unlikely that PXG could put in a bid value that was equal to or greater than what Real would put in. But for the second reason, and the more likely reason, they probably don't even want Rein Itoshi to play for their club. I mean, Rein, while actively playing for that club, sold numerous goal-scoring opportunities for the sake of personal pleasure. And while this does make sense for us, as Rein is a genius and will prioritize personal pleasure over team effort, this isn't something that a club team would want to have. I mean, Rein sold 3 goal-scoring opportunities. The first time was due to it being an unsatisfactory goal for him to score, and the other 2 were due to him crashing into people. The first incident in particular is what I believe secured Rein out of getting a PXG bid. During the match against Bayern München, PXG was 1 goal down, with Bayern München being 1 goal away from victory. Rein had entered his flow state and has reached a space where he could score from, but then refused to do so, restarting the play with a pass to Charles. As a club owner, I personally wouldn't want a player to represent my club if they're going to give up on a goal scoring opportunity because they were unsatisfied, especially when my team is one goal away from losing the undefeated title. And since Rain getting another goal scoring chance was never promised, this moment provides a situation where Rain would have actively led to the loss for the club in the most popular current sporting event in the world. Loki himself even comments on Rain's actions, stating how Rain would be banned for life, assuming it was an official match. While I don't think Rain would have been banned for life, I do believe he would have faced some kind of punishment. But because of these factors, it leads PXG to valuing Shidou more. Shidou showed during that game that not only is he capable of sparking Charles' awakening and the chemical reaction with Charles, but he also has the ability to score crazy flashy goals that make him a lovable superstar. Shidou was the one who unified PXG's duo attacking options, showing that he is willing to join forces for the sake of team victory, over sacrificing team victory for the sake of personal pleasure like Rain did. But those were simply my thoughts and reasoning as to why I believe Shidou Ryusei earned and deserved a higher NEL value than Barou. Despite being a Shidou hater, I can't deny that he deserves the third place spot over Barou, and it just kind of makes sense that he is there. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and will continue to enjoy it in the future. I think talking up Shidou was a nice change of pace from constantly hating on him, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I also want to say thank you so much to all the members of my channel who help support me and my content, and if you wish to earn some awesome benefits like they do, and even get your name mentioned in the BLUELOCK New World movie, become a member yourself and help support me and my content moving forward. And just a final reminder to join my Discord server if you're ever interested in getting any more involved with our amazing community. As for the question of the video, who do you believe is the third place ranking? Barou or Shidou? Leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section. And like always, thank you all for watching, like and subscribe to see more awesome BLUELOCK content just like this.